Okay, so we're in the house now, and we're going to show you a couple of the videos Joy has posted here. Take it away.
Okay, the first video I'm going to show is of the wall. This is prior to that pipe bursting, and this is in early 2014. This is one of the first cold spells we had last year, and this video shows that 31 degrees outside. Loper was operating the wall panel. All of this water that you see here is the drainage from the wall panel itself.
Mm-hmm.
And at the time, as you see, I did not have the chain link fence and gate at the back portion of the house like I do now.
Right.
Because this was taken early in 14, and I'm not gonna run through the whole 3 minutes of it, but
Okay.
get you up here where there you go.
Mm-hmm.
That's not me. I'm not I'm not screwing my own property. That water is coming out of that hole in that fucking wall. And now it does not do that anymore because the pipe at the bottom is burst. So, here's the water. Like I said, there have been times where he had that thing operating so long that that water flowed down the entire length, of that wall and out the alley.
Right.
And in the photographs I have of all of this, there's documentation of that. I mean, this is just a small sampling of what I went through with this guy.
Okay.
He would flood my property regularly with, his goddamn garden hose. All right, this was taken in April 24th of this year, and this, because this is how far we're down the road. This is what it looks like now when it's raining.
Yeah.
I'm going to jump a little bit so that people get an idea. All the sloping of the driveway, it slopes towards, the front of his house, and then off to that gravel pit, and then over to my property. This is clearly that area right there. And I'll jump a little bit up here, and as I described when we were outside, the split, the way the drainage flows.
Yeah.
It's split. Some of it flows towards the front part of my house, and then the rest of it flows down and out what I call the corridor. That's now what I refer to as the corridor.
Good.
And you can tell that I get upset when talking about this because I've got the hiccups now. I have hundreds of little videos like this taken over the course of rainstorms. Like, here's what it looks like in the beginning, going all the way through to, the end of the storm. And,
Right.
Video segments are anywhere from 3 to 5 minutes long. As far as that goes. And then clearly you see that water is coming off of the neighboring property.
Yeah.
Draining to my property.
It's like,
and
you might as well build the boat.
This is, as you can see, and hear from the video, we're not even in a blinding kind of rainstorm right now.
Right.
Now, at this point of the year, we had several rainstorms already, So all of this ground is saturated.
Yeah.
And because it's all, raised and angled to come over to my direction, I mean, you see the damage that's been done in just, 3 years and 9 months or so.
Yeah. Right.
And like I said, I don't know how to fix that. I'm not a drainage expert, and no matter what I do, and this goes into the some of the real estate issues, is even if the wall were gone, the utilities were out from under the front corner of my property, and I actually had a clear title I could pass, I still have to acknowledge that my yard is his dumping ground.
Yeah.
And who the hell's going to buy my property like that for a value? So again, it's like, destroying the value of my property. I can't fix that. I wouldn't have enough money to throw at that to be able to fix that. And I would still have to acknowledge on a seller's disclosure form that this happens. And that I've had to correct it with some sort of engineering.
Right.
And then this is a sample of one of the 13 days last year, a month before my mother died, where I was dealing with him having his drip drainage and sprinkler system operating from midnight to 5:30 in the morning. And 13 days of this. Come on. This is how much water was flowing out of both properties, mine and his, from operating that system as he was doing for, that many hours for that many days. I mean, after 8 days, I finally had to go to the police because of all my previous efforts. Code compliance wasn't doing shit. No matter how much I complained. Building inspections, who, actually has the onus on them because they allowed all of this stuff to take place in the first place.
Right.
And, have not done anything to rectify this situation. But, it's like, he's flooded my property with his garden hose to the point where I've had dirt flowing out the alley. My dirt, my topsoil flowing out the alley.
Well, clearly, yeah.
And then, let's see, this is May 22nd. This is, another, just another flooding, and I can't remember if this is from one of the sprinkler floodings. And this is just me. At the time, again, I still didn't have the chain link fence up at that corner. I was still dealing with the original piece of shit he put up that I pointed out outside, and that I had taken half a panel of it out and put a chain link fence up again. That was the first effort I made, trying to give some exposure to the public to this nightmare.
Right.
And that endeavor was a failure. It looked good on paper, but in practice it didn't do anything. Because unless you're out of your car, you really have no clue what's going on. You can't sit in your car at the street and just look. You can see that there's, an angle of property coming off his side towards mine, but you unless it's raining out, you can't appreciate that. So anyway, on this particular day, I came out here just to photograph, clearly how long this thing has been running. This is, what my property is wet, but to also differentiate I'm not wetting my own property.
Right.
I'm not capable of figuring out how to get this shit to do that. So, again, this is just part of the ongoing beating.
Right.
And things of this nature have been shared, with the city of Dallas. They've been provided videos. They've been provided photographs. They've, you know, there have been emails. There have been phone calls. You know, my God. And this video here is a sampling of the sound, because everything on the other side of that wall is a shiny, reflective surface. It's concrete or it's brick. There's nothing to absorb sound.
Right.
And in this video also, his daughter and her buddies, because this is one of the teenage parties that I'm, you know, now having to put up with on a regular basis on the weekends. She, you know, flipped something that started the wall operating, and so I didn't catch it early. When it first happened, I had just come out because the sound, you know, you can hear it coming through the house.
Right. Right.
And then, you know, like I said, now, this isn't spewing like it does. But you'll see in a little bit where it'll start to pick up like it's doing there. Just imagine that it just keeps going.
Yeah.
And then the pressure builds until it just is spewing out. And that's why when it's like this, this thing can be operating for 10 or 15 minutes, like when the asshole who cleans his pool, who, you know, knows that this was broken, was flooding my fucking property on a regular basis.
Yeah.
You know, 10-15 minutes, this shit is flowing all the way out the alley when it's really spewing out that hole.
Right.
And again, this is, you know, this isn't a one-off kind of thing. I've got lots of videos like this, you know, for different days where I'd go out, you know, I'd notice that something was happening, and so I just videotape for a little while, go back in the house, come out, you know, videotape for a little while. I mean, I did that during rainstorms. I've done it during these kind of floodings. But, yeah, I mean, this has just been crazy making.
Right.
Because there's no recourse. I have no way to stop this.
Yeah.
You know? People that have wanted me to just accept this fucking wall on my property, even though they've seen some of these photographs and these videos, it's like, they're not having to live with it. These are people who, you know, can get a lawyer to defend their rights.
Yeah.
And even at that, it's like, really? Again, I would have to allow this man, whomever he wanted, to come on my property to repair his problems. Really? Would you want to allow someone else's people on your property?
No.
If they had to repair something that only benefits them?
Yeah.
Because nothing about this structure benefits me or my property. This is not a decorative fence, which is all he ever described it as what it was going to be.
Right. Well, is there anything else, or...
let's see. I think that gives you a pretty good idea. I mean,
Yeah.
again, these videos are on YouTube. They're available for the public to see. There's 1,300 some videos. And, of course, some of those videos have, are some of my activism. But, you know, I'm not hiding anything. It's all up there.
Yeah.
And, you know,
Plenty of proof.
I don't know how to edit videos. I don't, you know, I don't tweak my photos or anything like that. It's like, I don't want to ever be accused of tampering with anything. So it's like, here it is.
Right.
You know, here's just the raw stuff. The only thing that you don't get in these videos is what it feels like on my insides.
Right.
What it does to me to have to look at it. I mean, I can't even stand being out in my yard. Even at times where it's actually looked tolerable since the destruction, I can't stand being out there. There's no privacy. There's almost nowhere you can be in that backyard where you can't be seen.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's kind of that.